Well, hello there. Welcome to this edition of Thought for the Week. It's a privilege to be talking about Acts chapter 13 because it really is an exciting chapter. It's a chapter of beginnings. And we're looking at this church in Antioch and looking at the leadership team they had there. It was a remarkable group of men, wasn't it? Just listen to their names and see which ones you recognize. This is verse 1 of Acts 13. Barnabas, Simeon called Niger, Lucius of Cyrene, Manaen, who'd been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul. I can almost guarantee that the names you recognize are Barnabas and Saul. But there's nothing here to show that those brothers were treated any differently from the others. They were all leaders in the Lord's church in Antioch. What a remarkable bunch they must have been. And they had a good sense of priorities as well, because we read in verse 2, while they were worshiping the Lord, that's the first thing we're told about their activity. They were good disciples. They were completely sold out to the Lord, only interested in doing and being according to his written word. But the other thing we're told is while they were worshiping the Lord and fasting. Now, there's a word that is not popular with most Christians. We don't like the idea of fasting because obviously the word means going without something we like having, whether it's food or sex or money or whatever it is. The idea of fasting is not appealing to most of us. Well, not appealing or not, it was clearly a high priority amongst these leaders in Antioch, while they were worshiping the Lord and fasting. Now, why they were fasting, of course, we're not told. Whether they had a sense that the Lord, by his Spirit, was going to be saying something important to them, which they had to listen to, and therefore to focus all their attention on it, we can't be certain. But I myself believe that's the reason. They had a hunch, they had a nudge, they had a sense deep inside them together that the Lord had something vital to communicate. And they knew that in order to be sensitive to the voice of the Spirit, it would be incredibly helpful if they were in peak condition and fasted for a few days. Now, that's my reading of the situation, and I don't think I'm wrong. It just goes to show how important fasting is in the life of a successful church. And interestingly, when the Lord Jesus spoke about fasting, he didn't say, if you fast. He said to his disciples, when you fast. So fasting is an accompaniment to our prayer life. It's an accompaniment which sharpens up our spiritual understanding. And those of us who are used to periods of fasting from time to time or regularly can testify to the fact that our understanding of the word and our sensitivity to the Lord is increased when we go through periods of fasting. Clearly, these were disciples who meant business with God. And so for them, worshiping the Lord, serving him totally, and fasting to go with it, these were essentials. Something to think about, isn't it? Well, bye-bye for now, and I'll see you next week.